But what I do know is don't nobody know what happened in that room but me and God. Story time, part 1. I know I've been making y'all wait. Not intentional. Promise you I haven't been. Life just been, and I've been quite consumed with the things that's been coming with it. But I got plenty of story time for y'all, and I'm trying to give it to you. Alright, so this story, real life event. All of these are real life events. I can't make this up. I won't. This story is it's still kind of near and dear to my heart. It was a very traumatizing experience that I had to endure and go through. But yet and still, I'm a child of God. He sustained me. I made it. And I escaped from it. Okay? So, we're going to call this story, well, it's just as real as it gets. I had a baby with Lucifer himself. Didn't realize I was even having a baby by Lucifer till I started getting like further along in my pregnancy, and that's when I realized like I'm having a baby by the devil. And then it was after I had the baby, everything else that came out after my son passed away, everything else that came out, I literally got impregnated by Lucifer. So I'm gonna take it from the top. So the year was 2014. I'm like 34, going on 35, somewhere around there. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, 34 going on 35, somewhere around there. And I had met this guy, like, I'm talking about, and this was still an era where I was on my wild and beanie shit, like, couldn't no nigga hold me down. All I'm looking for was to collect my chips off a nigga, get the fuck on. I was in that mode, and that's just what it was, But I had met this guy, real charming, handsome guy. I'm talking about just eye candy galore. Like, just sitting next to the nigga made me get wet. You know what I mean? Hearing his voice. I mean, it was just, everybody meet one of them ones. You know what I mean? And he was just one of them ones for me at the time. And it was the craziest shit. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but it used to be this app called Glide. Before video and then FaceTime came out. And you be on Glide exchanging videos and shit. Or people can look you up by your profile picture. And if they feeling you or they liking you or whatever, they pop at you and they kind of just like go from there. I met this nigga on Glide. Just on some dumb shit. I used to be on Glide and shit. And he just happened to be on there. I don't know if he got at me or I got at him. However, whatever. It happened. Okay? So, boom. We meet and greet. We see each other. He looked like how he supposed to look. I guess I'm looking like how I'm supposed to look. Cause boom. Oh, we finally meet. We see each other. We like each other. I mean, we had already been talking on video for like a minute before we actually just decided to bump into each other. But it became better once we actually seen each other and was able to get, accommodated in that way. So, boom, it's moving. We moving. Like, I'm so into this dude. And he's so into me. I'm talking about, like, we just into each other. And it was just something, like, so different for me because my attitude towards men at the time was get them for they get me. And I don't know what all. You know what I mean? I just hadn't, after being fucked over so many times the way I had been, I wasn't dealing feelings at all. And this man caught me, like just straight caught me. No matter how much I tried to fight it, it just, when that Jones came down, it came down. But the good part about it is I wasn't, jonesing by myself. He was into me just as much as I was into him. So, it was like a beautiful thing. So, we seeing each other like every day. You know what I'm saying? Like every day. Top of the morning, as soon as he opened up his eyes, he texted me or calling me. Same, vice versa. You know what I mean? And this went on for like, I don't know. I want to say for like a couple of weeks. And it just started like just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So at the time, I had a guy living with me. But it was like my friend. A male roommate. But he was a roommate with benefits, you know what I'm saying? But it was open. Like he did him, I did me. And it was just that type of party. So my baby daddy, who wasn't my baby daddy at the time, was coming over a lot, like a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? To where it was just like, damn, is the nigga moving in? But it wasn't like that because he wasn't never spending the night with me. I could never get him to spend the night with me. And, you know, it started just like dawning on me like, okay, you told me you live with your sister. Now, imagine this dude, he's fresh out of prison, okay? He only been home like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months at the time, 6 at the max. Because I remember him like just really getting on his feet and trying to get settled and solidified, nice employment and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he hadn't been home that long, but he also had came out from doing like a 14-year bid. That's a long time. You feel me? Whew, long time. And Lord knows, I used to love me a prison nigga. But baby, after that one, no more prison niggas for me. To be honest with you though, any guy that did over 5 years in prison, be prepared to deal with some very seriously psychological issues and any and everything else that come with it. Story time part 3 on when I had a baby by Lucifer himself. Alright, so I left off on 2 on, you know, we talking. We in this dope ass honeymoon phase. Like, we just loving, over liking, loving the shit out of each other, whatever you want to call it. We were just having a good time and enjoying each other. Now, I think it's imperative that I need to give these 2 individuals names for the simple fact it's two separate parties involved. Now, number 1, the male roommate who I was living with. Well, I ain't gonna say who I was living with. He was living with me because I always had my own shit. But he was renting a room and shit for me. I had been living with me for like almost a year at that time. Of course, running back, he was a friend with benefits. We used to have a lot of fun. That was my boy. And it's so crazy because he currently is the daddy of the twins that I had now. They 7 years old. I mean, I don't deal with him no more, but he they daddy. But he was my very, very, very good friend at that time. So we gonna call him Hot Dog. Reason being, he was like skinny with like athletic build, just like slim dude, super athletic build. And then we gonna call the one who this story is mainly about Hamburger. Because he was like a thick build, thick muscular build. You know what I'm saying? Without saying no names or whatever. That's what we going with. Hamburger, Hot Dog. Hot Dog was my roommate. Hamburger was the guy who I was courting, who ended up turning into my baby daddy, who I refer to as Lucifer himself. Alright, boom. So things are getting like really intense with me and him. Like it's moving. Like I'm cooking for him. We spending all the time in the world together. Like I was saying, he wouldn't never spend a night with me. But I also worked at midnights at the time. I was at the casino and I was doing like 5 nights a week at the casino. But the 2 nights that I would have off, it was always an excuse on why he couldn't spend a night. So at this point, it's probably like about, we probably like 2 months in. Every day, just going hard. Now, mind you, he had a kid when he went to prison and do the 14-year bid, but he ended up going to prison while the little boy was in the mama's stomach. So he missed first milestone, everything. Like, first everything. He missed it. You feel me? So he had this burning desire to have a child because he didn't get to experience none of this stuff. By the time he come up from prison, his son 14, which he got custody of him, the little boy living with him and everything. That was my baby. Ooh, I love to meet him. Anyway, but you know, at this point, the way we rocking and shit like that, he talking to me like, I want a baby. I want you to give me a little girl. And I'm like, I can't have kids, you know, because I'm 35 years old. At the time, I had never even been pregnant. Story time part 4. So we left off on him with this just heart-wrenching, burning desire for me to become his baby mama. He wanted me to get him a baby bad as hell. And I ain't gonna lie, since about the age of 30, I had a dire need, desire to become a mama. I mean, it was to the point, it was like starting to depress me. You know, I felt like I had did everything in my life, you know what I mean? made a lot of money, traveled, seen this, seen that, talked to every pedigree of dude there was to talk to. And I feel like the only void I had in my life was, you know, being a mama and having somebody love me unconditionally and wouldn't leave me no matter what. That's just really where I was at in life. And it was like, had got so bad for me to where I had to just ask God to take it away from me. Because like I said, it was starting to depress me. So then here come this man who I'm really, 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 really into. And he really into me, you know what I'm saying? And let's not even focus on the timeline, because at this point, he was telling me he wanted me to have his baby in probably like about a month. But I'm like, nigga, nah, whatever. But by the time we got to like that 3rd month, oh, it was just in overtime. Like he wouldn't rest, he wouldn't stop or whatever. Imagine we was packing plastic for the longest. Then we stopped packing plastic, and then, you know, we just letting it go for what he know. And like I told you, I always thought I couldn't get pregnant, so I ain't had no worries and no scares. And I had never been diagnosed, but my periods was always jacked up. They was never on time, always late. Sometimes I'd be on for a month straight. I'm like, oh, ain't no way. Nobody got no strong enough to whatever. You know what I'm saying? And all, like I said, I just full thought accepted that I couldn't have kids, and I just wasn't gonna have none. When we talking about somebody who did 14 years, don't do no alcohol, don't do no drugs of any sort, and every time he's taking a trip, oh, somebody gonna get got. And yes, I got, but I didn't know yet. So at this point, Hot Dog, long as he was having his way with me, the way he wanted to have his way with me, every night, munch on me for about 2 hours, 3 hours minimum, whatever the case may be. It was all good. He'd be willing to meet anybody. I'm willing to meet whoever. You know, it was just all good. But when he seen that Hamburger was getting the bulk majority of my time, and when it came down to him, like, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, whatever, he started becoming like a little lightweight enraged lunatic, like having a love for me that I didn't even know exists or whatever. So at this point, Hamburger telling me, like, if this your cousin, why the nigga acting like he in love with you? Like, what's going on with y'all? You know, so my cover is almost blown, because he's on my back about story time part 5 on when I had a baby by Lucifer himself. Oh, yeah, so boom. Hot Dog is walking around having hissy fits. You know, that Hamburger is getting more time in with me than, you know, he felt he needed. Mind you, me and Hot Dog always had an understanding to where, you know, you do your thing, I do my thing. We friends, we homies, we whatever. We link up at night, whatever the case may be. But it was never no, like known him having a for real Jones for me or a real love for me like that. At least I didn't know about it. And maybe it took for somebody else to come into play that he seen I actually fucking gave a fuck about, because I was a shark. I didn't care about nobody. I told you what type of time I was on. So when he seen that me taking a liking to Hamburger like that, like Hamburger was starting to at that point become a problem, to where it's dwindling over to when Hamburger come over, they went from chopping it up and kicking it small talk when he came over to where Hot Dog ain't got nothing to say to him. Hot Dog slamming doors. Hot Dog showing all type of bitch. I mean, it was just like really, really, really weird, to where it was almost like I couldn't hide it no more. Hamburger already knew what was going on, but I wasn't going to admit it to save my motherfucking life. I was not going to do that, because we hadn't told nobody what our real truth was. And I'm already struggling, and you know what I'm saying, struggling with the fact that you telling me you live with your sister, yet I ain't been over there. Yeah, I can't affirm or attest that this really is your sister. You ain't never spent the night with me. You know, it's weird behavior and shit on his end too. And it was like, the math wasn't mathing. You know what I mean? And I couldn't connect the dots on him like that the way I wanted to. So I guess it's getting the best of him, that he know that Hamburger feeling me and loving me. Good morning. The way that he do. So yeah, he's suspect about me. Indeed, I'm suspect about his ass, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with your home front. Like, what's really going on? What's really good? So it's to the point, I was at the point, I was not about to let up off of it, because I needed a defense mechanism anyway. You keep being on my back and what my business is in my household. Nigga, what's going on in your household? What's happening, Captain? You feel me? And one thing about me, baby, when I want to get down to the bottom of something, Lead Diva to the job, because Diva gonna get down to the bottom and the top of that motherfucker, because my Carmen San Diego skills, I don't play, baby. I will seek out Facebooks. I will pick up on names. I will do whatever I need to find out what I need to find out. All you gotta do is get access to a nigga phone. The phone gonna tell you whatever he ain't telling you. And that's what it came down to. Them taking naps in the middle of the day, knocked out. Oh, damn. All right, story time part 6. I hope y'all enjoyed them first 5 and ready for some more, because I'm about to drop. So, boom. At this point, it's getting to the point I can't get around him knowing who and what hot dog is in my life. And he can't get around me knowing that you got to be living with a woman. Shit ain't adding up. So, it's to the point I'm about to break it off with him. Because I know he had something from me and he don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Let me in on him. And I'm telling them, like, okay, no, I'm about to be done with you. Like, I just don't like the way this is going. I don't like how you playing it. I don't like how you playing me. So it gets to the point, he played confessions on his end that he actually is living with a woman. Older woman who's taking care of him and all this other type of shit or whatever the case may be. So, boom. I know that was a lot for him to have to do that. It was a lot because he didn't know if he was going to lose me or not. And he kept saying that. But one thing about me, I can respect real no matter how it comes. Long as you keep it real and give me the option to be able to pick and choose what I want to deal with. But at this point, I was already so gone off the nigga. I was still gonna fuck with him anyway. I ain't care. I was gone. Okay? So that gave me ample opportunity to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, make my confessions and tell him what it really is about me and hot dog. Like, yeah, that's my head doctor. He been living with me for like almost a year. We cool. My buddy, he ride for me, whatever. I ain't got no feelings for him like that. It's just the moral of my story. We tag teaming these motherfucking bills, and that's just what it is, you know. So it was a hard pill for him to swallow. But yet, still at the same time, again, he was so gone off me, whatever. He brushed it right off. It changed the dynamic between him and hot dog, though. Like, shit got really wild after that. Super duper wild. But let's focus on the pregnancy. That's a whole nother story time. I get to going all into that. So, boom. At this point, right after we play confessions to each other and tell each other the truth, this is when I actually found out. I found out that I'm pregnant. Mind you, this is my first pregnancy. I don't have no idea about this weird ass morning sickness and all this stuff that's going on with me. You know, that's the last thing on my mind is somebody that got me knocked up and got me pregnant, but I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with all of it. And he knowing I'm dealing with it, because a lot of times he coming over, I can't even fuck with him. Like, oh, just leave me alone, rub my back, whatever. So he like, man, you need to go take a pregnancy test. This and that. I'm like, nigga, I'm not pregnant. I told you I can't have kids, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, he still was encouraging me nevertheless to take a pregnancy test. Go take the pregnancy test. Boom, bam, boom. Found out that I'm knocked up. You feel me? Like, I'm pregnant as fuck. Like, I'm filled with so many emotions. Like, I'm excited. I'm giddy. I'm happy. I feel so blessed. I feel so this. But yet, at the same time, I don't even know this motherfucker, okay? We probably like 3 months in. He hadn't showed me nothing like that yet. But still, ideally, this ain't how I had my life planned out. I want to have my first baby by my husband or somebody I'm in. Alright, story time part 7. So, at this point, we found out that I'm pregnant. I'm going through all these different emotions. I'm going from happy to sad to scared to just all this stuff, you know, first baby type shit or whatever. It's like I really couldn't even be happy because I had such a spirit of worry on me, worrying about the wrong shit. Like, oh, I don't know him. What if he ain't gonna be there? Oh, I want to be a family. Just all this stuff that was a little quite premature or whatever. So far, so good. I mean, you know, he's excited about me having a baby. He making all these arrangements and all these plans. He instantly want to move out from with girl and move right in with me. Want me to put hot dog right out. Mind you, this is my right hand. Regardless of how he acting or whatever, like, a hot dog was my man's, okay? Like, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Just had always been there for me like no other. You know what I'm saying? Always had my back, all this. And we was just compadres. That was my dog. So I wasn't really feeling it moving in that direction like that, because it's like, damn, like, you just want to move out where move in with me, and now I'm getting to know you. Why you living in the house with me and all this other type of shit, a baby on the way. It was just too much too quick. So it was like, I wasn't really feeling that shit at all, but he wanted it. He wanted it so bad to where every other day he calling me like, oh, I'm having problems at home with girl, blah, 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 blah. I gotta tell her you pregnant, this is that. And I'm like, my man, I don't give a fuck. You tell her if you don't, my nigga. It's our baby. Ain't got shit to do with her. So, you know, if you tell her gonna be your way of encouraging yourself to be able to leave with no guilt, you know, don't use me as a pawn for that. Like, I didn't care about him telling her or not. Because I got the vast majority of his time. I had his full throttle, undivided attention. And I knew this for a fact. Because sometimes I used to be like, damn, give me a break, nigga, type shit or whatever. But he was gone off that pot where that, you feel he was straight gone. Didn't know what to do with himself. Had turned his ass out. And he had been gone for 14 years too. So he ain't even know what it was like. He didn't know what that life was like. So I had to show his ass. So that had a lot to do with it as well. But, you know, I'm liking him and everything like that. But, you know, now I'm dealing with, because I was tag teaming both of them. It was him and Hot Dog. I was tag teaming the shit out of both of them. But I knew who my baby was off the bat, because I never let Hot Dog ski in me. Never. There's been a time or two it was a mistake or whatever happened. But I never, ever, ever let that. Hamburger, every single trip it was. Imagine, me and Hot Dog had been sleeping together for a year. And this never happened. Even with the few slips up we did have. As soon as I get with this strong motherfucker, I already knew. I knew it's a feeling you have inside. You know who baby it is. Even if you is sleeping with two men at the same time, you just know. And I can't describe it, but I knew he was my baby daddy from day one. I knew. Okay? Part 8. So at this point, I'm like 3.5, almost. I know I was over 3 months when I found out I was pregnant. I can't remember exactly how long, but it was like just barely past first trimester type stuff. So, you know, doctor's appointments and stuff kicking in, all the promises that he made, he want to be there every step of the way, every doctor's appointment, all this other kind of shit. First doctor's appointment, nothing. Claiming he got to work, whatever the case may be, boom. Guess who was there though? Hot Dog. First doctor's appointment, every doctor appointment, Hot Dog was there. So I guess he mad at me. So he don't show up to the first doctor's appointment. Hot Dog went with me though. Hot Dog was very supportive. And I want to tell you Hot Dog's role in this too, because he was so hell-bent on wanting that baby to be his. He believed it all his might that it was his. And I never strung him along. I never played him like it was. I'm telling him like, I know for a fact, Hot Dog, this is not your baby. He like, well, I'm just going to be there for you just in case it is, you know, because if it do end up coming out to be my baby and I wasn't there for you, I'll never be able to live it down. Because this nigga ain't going to be there for you. He ain't here for you, D. He ain't for you, D. And he used to always be saying that, but I thought it was just like some hating shit going on, because I knew how much his Jones had came down for me, and I wasn't even really feeling him like that. I mean, I loved him as a friend, but not as a lover. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was like a lot of hate coming because of, you know what I mean? Because he wanted me the way he knew old boy had me wrapped like that. So long story short, yeah, he missed the first doctor's appointment, and I think the second one too. He never went to no doctor's appointment, but I'm trying to break it down so you can see how this built up to Lucifer showing me who he was, like early on. So boom, he finally breaks the news to girl that we having a baby or whatever. She instantly puts him out. He instantly basically had me put Hot Dog out. I'm talking about in a moment's notice, like a moment's notice. And I'm so hell been gone off my first kid, dad, and being a family and all this and all that. I turned my back on Hot Dog without even really even thinking about it. Like, you gotta go. My baby daddy want to be a family. He moving in today. You gotta go. And it was just like that. When I look back on it, it just was so bold how I played shit. But in that moment, I didn't see no wrong in what I was doing. So boom, Hamburger moved all his shit in. Not some things, like moved all his shit in. This nigga was a dresser, okay? Kendall Cole, this, Nike boots, this. I'm talking about my whole fucking house was just like filled up with all his clothes and all his shit. For this nigga to turn around the same day and move right back out the same fucking day. After I didn't put my story time part 9. Now y'all gotta know. That was not by chance that happened with him having me put Hot Dog out the house that day. Him move in the same day. and move out the same fucking day. That was his way of doing the process of elimination and getting Hot Dog out the way completely. Ain't no man, regardless of whether he with you or not, and he know y'all got a baby on the way, the idea of him phantoming that somebody else is having sex with you while the baby is in your stomach, they don't want that. And you shouldn't want that either. But at the same time, that was the dynamic. You been through the dynamic. So, oh, fucking well, you got a woman. So whatever. Okay. So boom. He moves out. I'm just like, I'm livid. I'm upset. I'm hurt. You know, I done turned my back on my friend. Not only that, I got this high hope and excitement of us being together, growing, building. All this stuff you want to do with your first child dad. I don't got to, go into detail. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's all that. Imagine you, I'm 35, okay? I'm 35 having my first child. I ain't no spring chicken. I'm 35. So life is real for me. Life is very serious for me. And, I'm trying to govern myself accordingly for that. So boom, we end up having a huge fallout after he did that, to where I was just like, you know what? I ain't fucking with you. You played me. You know what I mean? You knew what you was doing. You want to go back and be with that old bitch, and you got a baby on the way with me, whatever. But he liked what she was doing for him, even though he had landed him a dope ass job with being a convicted felon. You know what I'm saying? He had landed him a dope ass job, paying him some nice ass money and everything, but I guess he still wanted what that woman was doing for him. I don't know, however. So us getting into it, we was more into it than we was on. So whenever we talked, it was always nasty. He had got very disrespectful. I mean, he go from being excited as hell about the baby to telling me he don't want the baby no more at all. I can kill the motherfucker for all he care. All this, all that. Just like horrible. I mean, he just sent me on an emotional roller coaster the entire pregnancy. And I know it wasn't nobody but the grace of God on how I was even able to carry my son, because the stress alone basically almost took me out. I'm talking about so many sleepless, crying days, crying nights, just so many. I can't cram everything in there. This story time will be 25 segments long. 25 segments long. And I ain't trying to go there, but I'm just trying to let y'all know, really, he did not give a fuck about me. He did not give a fuck about the pregnancy. He didn't give a fuck. He only gave a fuck about him executing his agenda, and that was knocking me up. Once he actually got me pregnant, it was on to the next one for him completely. Okay? So you already know I had to go and get my buddy back. My buddy, he forgave me, and he ended up coming back. Story time part 10. So I was able to go get my buddy back. My buddy, he actually embraced me and accepted me with open arms after Hamburger had played me like that. It was a whole bunch of I told you so's, but whatever. I was going through a lot of my pregnancy. I stayed extremely sick. I had preeclampsia. It was just a lot. Living by myself in a big, huge ass 4-bedroom house, up and down, that I just could not do by myself. So it left me with no choice. Not that I didn't want to do it anyway, but I really just needed somebody to help me with everything that I was dealing with and going through. And Hot Dog was the one for it, baby. He was here for it. He was the foot rubber, the belly rubber, Mr. Attentive man, just the whole entire time. I look back on that now, he was just like such a blessing. Tremendously or whatever. So back on Hamburger, he putting the dogs down hard, baby. Hard, baby. I mean, it would go whole week sometimes of me calling his phone every day, not responding, not answering. What the fuck you want? This is that. I told you I don't want you. I don't want the baby. I'm talking about out of nowhere, like literally didn't even serve me no notes, just started just like going in on me, just dogging me, putting the dogs down. So let's fast forward. At this point, I'm like 7 months, like, and it ain't been nothing but him dogging me, putting the dogs down on me, just doing me just any kind of way, just super duper greasy. Ooh, said a lot of horrible shit, doing a lot of even more horrible shit. And even still, I'm just holding on to hope, like, oh, he's gonna get it together. We gonna be, yeah. I'm just naive and delusional. You have to believe people when they show you who you are. And I knew that, but for something about being up under that hypnosis of that man who you having your first child by, you take a lot. And I did. So let's fast forward to 7 months. At this point, I was 7 months. So he didn't dog me for the last 90 days straight. You know what I'm talking about? Dog me. But I guess, you know, convictions start coming in, kicking in for him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because he's seeing me. My belly growing. I'm big as hell. You know, we going weeks without seeing each other. Sometimes I'm like month and a half, whatever. So he not seeing how real the pregnancy is until he see me. So he have a kumbaya moment or whatever. He want to call himself crying, breaking down, him being sorry about doing me like this, doing me like that, and he don't want no other man raising his son, being around his son, this is that, this and that, and can I please forgive him and give him a second chance? But no, you got me the first time. So you ain't about to have me put my friend out and turn my back on my friend again. If this is what you really say you want, we gonna take this shit one day at a time and just see how it go. So he had already shown me who he is, so I'm treading very carefully with him, but yes, at the same time, I'm not trying to like, you know, withhold these really, really treasure moments from him with having a baby. Story time number 11, right? So now he calling himself turning over a new leaf. The conviction he kicked in. He's seeing how real the pregnancy is. I'm big as a house. You know what I'm saying? I'm waddling. I'm whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yes, at the same time, I was not about to fall for the okie doke. Because one thing about the devil, right? Especially when you a chosen one like me and you a child of God, like I am, and always had a significant calling on my life. The devil will send field agents. The devil know what you like and what you into and stuff too. You know what I mean? And he will study you and all that to destroy you, to set you up for destruction. He comes to rob, kill, and destroy. So that how heinous I was on for like the first 3-4 months of dealing with this man, and how he was just like so everything to me. I loved everything about him. I was attracted to everything about him. Like just his vibe, his body, his looks. Oh my God. Or this dope ass mink hair. Oh my God. I was just like stone cold gone. And what the devil did was send a wolf in sheep's clothing to throw me off track and to literally destroy me. But let me get to the good part. So now I'm like almost 7.5 months. My water breaks. Well, it not really break. It rupture. Like I got a leak. You know what I'm saying? A leak. I just kept on leaking. I'm thinking like, I don't know. Like I just got a weak bladder. I'm not even know. I stayed like this for at least 12 hours before I, you know, called and seek medical attention about it because it just kept coming out. But it wasn't just like running. It'd just be leaking like I gotta pee and you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know. So long story short, I had to go to the hospital, you know, and get checked out and see what was going on with me because, you know, I'm trying to make sure the baby okay. I could still feel him moving and different stuff like that. But, you know, why am I leaking? So kind of found out I had a ruptured water break where it just caused me to leak, but not, you know, gushing or whatever. And I had lost my mucus plug as well. So when I get to the hospital, I got this big, huge baby shower planned. I'm talking about like over 300 people coming. I just spent a lot of money for this baby shower. I'm talking about the decor, everything. You know what I mean? I gotta cancel my baby shower and everything because the hospital say, oh, you gotta stay till you deliver him. We can't let you go. You gonna be here for the next month or so. What? You know what I mean? But that's how the tables turn. So I had to cancel my baby shower and everything. Of course, Hamburger want to be all in because now it's prime time. The baby gonna be coming sooner than later. So now he trying to be supportive. Now he trying to be at the hospital and seeing about me and all this and all that. Now, one thing about me, I've always been a really, really infamous, famous, well-liked, popular person all the time. That was one of the one things that Hamburger despised about me. Story time, part 12. When I had a baby with Lucifer. So sad, so sad. So now shit can get real. Shit done already got real. Because at this point, let me recant a little bit. Because I said I had to cancel my baby shower. I didn't have to cancel it. I had to reschedule it. So it did affect my attendance list. Like, you know, I lost a lot of guests from having to reschedule it, but I still end up having a big showdown, throwdown for my firstborn's baby. People came out and put on for my baby. Gifts being sent from out of town. A month after the baby shower, people were still bringing shit. Because like I told you, this was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Really renowned, well-loved individual by everybody.
And the first instant of anybody, you know, hearing about Dana having a baby, it was like just like a news flash, and they blessed me. They blessed me hard. So anyway, I end up, I'm at the hospital. I'm admitted in the hospital, whatever the case may be. And they tell me I'm going to be there for like the next month. But my son ended up coming in like 10 days, maybe 11 days or whatever. And I had him. So, you know, Hamburger was there throughout the 10 days and bringing me this and bringing me that. Hot Dog was there too. Hot Dog would be up there spending the night with my motherfucking ass. Hamburger only came here and there, you know, drop shit off, see what I'm doing, how I'm doing, whatever, and that was pretty much it. Okay, so the 10 days come and go. It's time for me to actually deliver my son, my firstborn baby. And I had no hard labor either. It was a pretty okay labor. Baby, when I had my son and I pushed that little angelic out, any and everything I ever had to endure from his dad, the whole 7.5, almost 8 months prior to, did none of it matter. Did none of it matter. When I tell you this little boy was like the most beautifulest little boy I ever seen before my life. He came out with mink hair too. He looked like a little chink. His hair was so long and it was like real fine, but like straight, like porcupine. He had my face, but he had a lot of his daddy features too. He looked exactly like his daddy and he looked like me. Just a beautiful little boy. So considering the fact that, you know, he was born at like 7.5 months, I think I was like 7 months and 3 weeks. That, you know, he had to stay in the NICU until he came out at 4, but they wanted him, I think, to be 5 before they let him go home. So he had to stay in the NICU for like 2 weeks. So now that I had it was story time, part 13, when I had a baby by Lucifer. So now my newborn bundle of joy, he is here. Like, I'm in love, you know what I'm saying, his daddy in love. You know what I mean? It's actually seeming like it's about to be like a fresh start of a whole new beginning with us. Like a whole new chapter. It's just like completely surreal. It was just like, you know, just looking around and looking at it. It just seemed like oddly strange, but he was genuinely happy. And, you know, I was too. Of course, I had to put Hamburger down completely to the side. So once it was determined that my baby had to be in the hospital for at least 2 weeks, now it's life on the outside with me and Hamburger. At this point, Hamburger wants to move in for real, like voluntarily on his own, because he want to be there every step of the way with the baby. So while the baby was in the hospital and everything, 2 weeks, you know, we stayed going up there, seeing about him, different stuff like that. I'm losing weight like a mug. Like, my bounce back so motherfucking scandalous within like the first week, 2 weeks. Like, you couldn't even really tell me shit. But I noticed that, like, even though Hamburger had decided that he wanted to move in again, it was just like he was really like distant and fucked up. Like, the only common ground we really shared was really like the baby, like far as on some relationship shit. Like, that shit just like sucked. You know, so I couldn't have sex and stuff like that because, you know, I had just recently had the baby. But there was just like not an ounce of intimacy, no kissing, no hugging, no affection or nothing. Really, we wasn't talking about the baby. It wasn't even really no real conversation. And, you know, for 2 weeks, I'm just in my mind. I think I was dealing with like lightweight postpartum. You know, my baby wasn't here yet, but it just was not clicking for me. It just was not clicking for me. Because to be honest with you, like, I'm missing Hot Dog. Like, I feel like this is where Hot Dog supposed to be at, right here with me. Like, who I really know. Who really was there for me, that baby. Who was talking to that baby my whole entire pregnancy. Who my baby know. Okay? So, boom. Now, it had been discussed maybe like one time or two, you know, while I was pregnant, about blood tests, because he knew I was tag teaming both of their ass. Shit, everybody knew. I had no problem with a blood test because I already told you I knew who my baby was anyway. But this nigga acting like he's some type of NFL star once the baby get here. Just pressing about blood tests and how he ain't about to be taking care of no baby if he don't know for a fact that it's his. And it's like, motherfucker, ain't nobody asking you to be here. You choosing to be here. If you want to do a blood test, do a blood test. So instead of him just like wanting to do the blood test and like include me in it, or at least let me know what he doing or how he doing. He want to sneak swab him and shit. Like, wow. Alright, story time part 14. So I left off at, so he sneak swabbed the baby. This was at the hospital. Like, when I say sneak, we living together. You feel me? So, I'm seeing you every day. I'm seeing you when you wake up. I'm seeing you when you go to bed. You knew the night before you had already had the kid. Whatever. Why wait till when we get to the hospital? We up there visiting the baby. You just pull the kid out and just instantly got it already prepped and just boom, just swab his mouth. So that kind of like fucked me up a little bit. Like, what type of shit is this nigga on? You keep saying you don't want to be taking care of no baby that you don't know for a fact is yours. He never bought my baby a single item. Not one single item. Not one single item. Not a bag of diapers. Not a fucking binky. Okay? Not a pair of booties. Nothing. I never bought him nothing. Mind you, I had baby shower of the year. You know what I'm saying? It hadn't came yet. I think it was like 2 weeks or so away. But the things that I had bought my son prior to, I was living in a 4-bedroom house at the time. So he had a one whole full bedroom dedicated to everything that I had got him. This little boy had stuff that lasted him probably about the first year of life, okay? All contributions from his mama. Daddy had never bought him nothing. Nothing. So he swabs him, get the swab done or whatever. So I'm going to fast forward, boom. The baby come home. Life as you supposed to know with all three of us. I'm just like, okay, well, maybe it'll be a little different then. No. When the baby come home, he starts sleeping in a different room, talking about because he got to sleep with a fan on. He ain't want no fan to be on in the room with me and the baby and all this and all that. And just some bullshit. Just wait for him to just cheat and do whatever he want to be doing in the other room because he was so serial with his cheating. This is the part that I didn't understand. Nobody asked you to be with me. Nobody proclaimed or even stated to you that we needed to be together for you to be able to be. You the one says you wanted this shit, but you really didn't want me. But what the fuck did you have to be living in the house with me for? It wasn't like he ain't had nowhere to go. This was a conscious decision he decided to make just to actually destroy me. He needed to finish executing his agenda. And that's just what it was about. Because when I tell you, my self-esteem has started becoming like so fucked up. Like, you know, I'm losing all this weight. Everybody telling me I look good. I think I lost like 30 pounds in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It was really, 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 really fast. I know that. I didn't gain a lot of weight with him, but it's like when I lost the weight, to me, I felt like my body looked better before I even got pregnant. Like, it was just laying like that, you know. I always stay tip-top on my hair and shit, so I just do shit like, ask some shit like, part 15, when I had a baby by Lucifer. So my last video, I had left off on, you know, me losing all the weight and everything like that. And I'm, like, feeling, like, really, really good about myself. And all I wanted to do was just be, like, noticed by him. Or just in some type of way feel like he was attracted to me. In any type of way. Because I swear, us living together, it was like, it wasn't even homeboy and homegirl. It was stranger danger. Like, it was just, like, so fucking weird. Anyway, I just say shit like, oh, you see the weight that I lost? Like, ain't I'm looking good? Your body was way colder before you had the baby. Your body was way colder before you had the baby. And I only had the baby like 3 weeks to a month ago. Man, I done lost more weight now than I was before I even got pregnant. This how he'll come. Then I do my hair. You like my hair, babe? It ain't your best work. You know, I'm talking about anything he could to just like shoot me down and just make me feel like shit all the time. These are just like examples, but true examples, but it was more stuff that took place to that extent. And it used to happen all the time. So not only was he living there with me, basically going to work from my house or whatever, he would do shit like, okay, we together. We're in a relationship. So I shouldn't be feeling like I'm a single parent in a house with a newborn baby. He would never, ever spend no time with Ellie. Never. He would come in the morning in our room, because he slept in his own room. He'd take 5-minute, 10-minute video, send a video to his mama, post the video up on Facebook like he's world's greatest dad every day. Or whatever I reported to him throughout the day while he at work, like he asked me what the baby been doing, this is that, this and that. I tell him, he stood up there and reported and posted on Facebook as if he witnessed it or seen it himself, because he didn't have no real for real active engagement with him. So this went on for like, I don't know, maybe like 2 months of us living together, a month and a half, I don't know. It was just, I couldn't take it. Like, I felt like it was just like, it was killing me on the inside, just living like that every day, and just very, very, like high discomfort level and uneasiness, to where he walking around every day acting like ain't nothing going on, still wanting me to cook for him, still like all this stuff. But he would literally get off work and come in the house, shower, go on dates, and just leave me and the baby in the house by ourselves. Like, this nigga started bringing gifts home. He had never bought my baby nothing, but some chick he was messing with, or maybe even a couple of chicks. He bring home random pair of shoes, making it seem like he went to the mall and got them himself. Come to find out, his gossips had told me that his bitches. Breaking story time, part 16. When I had a baby by Lucifer. So yeah, I was leaving out about it. He was like coming back to the house with random gifts that didn't even make sense for the baby, different sizes, like just stuff that you know other people was buying and not himself. But he'd play me like he bought it earlier, knowing he been at work all day and even had no way to be able to get to the motherfucking mall. But his sister ended up telling me the reals on that anyway. Something else I forgot to add that served great importance to the story. Now, he had just landed him a dope ass plant job. It wasn't Chrysler or Ford, but it was like the next best thing to it. Like one of them little plants that make all the parts or whatever to send over to them. So it was good benefits involved for him, good pay, and everything like that. And this was like his first major like job since he got out of prison. All the other stuff had been like odd ends. So I get it. You're excited that you could have insurance and benefits and all this. So he kept stressing how he didn't want his baby to be on Medicaid, and he wanted his baby to be on his insurance and all this, which is perfectly fine, better or whatever. But he decided to take out a huge insurance policy on my baby. My baby is a newborn, and he put $100,000 on my baby. Ask me who, ask me where, would anybody put $100,000 on a newborn baby? I don't give a fuck. And I'm talking about pressed about it, super pressed. Wouldn't stop until he got the money on there. I found it oddly strange, and any and everybody else around me found it to be oddly strange too, because any and everybody know to bury somebody in case an accident happened or anything, especially a baby, under $2,500, your baby can have the best funeral ever. But he won $100K on a baby through MetLife. Boom. So he got the insurance going, whatever the case may be. Things are so rocky with us, I have to put him out the house. Like, I just cannot take him no more. So once I put him out the house, he had a vendetta against me. He had a problem with every single thing I did when it came to the baby. Who kept the baby? Who spent time with the baby? He wanted to come and get my baby and take my baby over his bitch's house, and my baby ain't nothing but like a month old. Even though I'm complying with it because I'm trying to keep down the piece of shit, but at the same time, I hated it because it would get back to me like the whole entire time he take the baby is with the girl or whoever it is he messing with. He ain't even spending time with the baby. He's somewhere out in the world in the streets cheating on her. Hold on. Yeah, so he wouldn't even really legit be even spending time with the baby. He'd put the baby off on one of his bitches, our newborn baby. He had a problem with me hanging out or trying to do anything to get back to my normal self. You know, after part 17 on when I actually had a baby by Lucifer himself. Okay, so I left off on, he had a sick vendetta against me. You know, when I put him out the house, I just couldn't deal with the serial cheating. Him treating me like I wasn't even there in my own fucking house, that he wasn't paying no bills on, wasn't doing shit, driving my dog ass motherfucking Cadillac. I hadn't even had my Cadillac a year, and he kept my car. You know what I'm saying? He had a car too, but he had a fucking weak ass Durango. He wanted to be riding clean and mean in the motherfucking STS. You know what I'm saying? The V8. So he kept my car. Just was doing whatever he wanted to do. And I'm doing this all to save face because I'm calling myself just being in love with my baby daddy. Being in love is one thing, and then just being stuck on stupid is another. And I was definitely stuck on stupid for a minute because hi, how are you? How are you? I just didn't know. Everything was just so new to me, and I was oblivious to a lot of stuff that was going on around me, but not dumb for too long. Okay. So here's an incident that took place. My sister was helping me with the baby. My sister got 3 kids. She is wonderful with kids. Anybody in my family, I'm not going to let my newborn baby go with nobody that I don't trust. My sister knew I needed a break. I was exhausted from him. I'm exhausted from being a new mom. Just exhausted. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, D, I'm come get Dallas off your hands or whatever. So give you a little break, get you some little me time, mommy, just free time, whatever to, have a woosah. So I didn't have to run by you, who my baby going with. You just the fucking daddy, and you active when you want to be active. But just so happened he calls, because we didn't talk like that. It'd be maybe one time a day, or maybe sometimes it wouldn't even be every day, and maybe other day once he moved out the house. But he happened to call and want to know what the baby doing. I'm like, oh, he not here. He at Kelly's house. My motherfucking baby at your sister's house. You need to sit your ass down and be a mama. Like, I'm all partying, hanging, whatever. I ain't did no clubbing, partying, hanging, or nothing since I had the baby. Nothing. I ain't even had no niggas on deck to go fuck with when him taking me through everything he taking me through. Nothing. Okay? So anyway, he got a problem with my sister the baby going with my sister. Hi, how are you? Nutted up on me so scandalous about the baby not being there. So my sister ended up bringing the baby back that night because I'm telling her how wild and beating he is about the baby, this is that, this and that. But he didn't know the baby was back. He just telling me basically I better get his baby back to the house. I don't need to have no free time away from the baby. I'm a single mom. No, I'm a mother and my baby should come first. So he pulls up out of nowhere at the house, pull up on the grass. Headlights. Story time, part 18. When I had a baby by Lucifer himself. So what I left off on, he had pulled up. So yeah, the baby came back home and he didn't know. Because I just got tired of him just acting like a fucking maniac the entire day of him being gone and just all this. So my sister just ended up bringing the baby back. But I ain't telling that the baby was back. Again, who the fuck are you? So long story short, he pulls up at my crib, pull all up on my grass and shit, you feel me? Headlights beaming into the house. He still had the key to my house because he wouldn't give it back. But because he was so into his other hoes and his other bitches, it was not natural or regular for him to pop up on me. So it wasn't no huge deal for me to get the locks changed. Or I wasn't even fucking with other niggas either, so I really just didn't even care. Plus at the time, I'm like, okay, this is his baby. He got a key to the house. I'm not really tripping on it because ain't nobody coming over here. Whatever. He had a key. He came in my shit, wild, reckless, and crazy. I got the babies in my arms standing at the steps because I'm like, what the fuck? You feel me? He comes right up the stairs. He see the baby. I'm thinking that's enough to put him at bay or whatever. Next thing you know, like, he just, like, choking me out with the baby in my arms. Just choking me out with the baby in my arms. Reason being behind it, I don't know. I'm gasping. Can't even hardly breathe. I'm like, I got the baby. And I had to say that like at least 4 or 5 times with him looking me dead in my eye before he finally just took his hands off my throat. I still don't even know to this day what did I get choked out for. It's because I let the baby go with my sister. Imagine, he had never been abusive to me. He had been verbally abusive, but I didn't even know this side of him even had existed. I hadn't disrespected him, cussed him out or whatever, but I guess he felt like he needed to let me know who was in charge and that he don't want his baby going no motherfucking where and being at home with me 24/8. Boom, whatever. Another incident that took place. Now, after all this had happened or whatever, I really was just, I'm kicking it with his mama, let her know this, let her know that, because she was the only person that could really, like, reach him and get through to him, at the time. His mama was a great grandma, too. Whatever he didn't do, his mama filled in the gaps on a lot of stuff. I really, really had a lot of respect for her, and I really liked her. All right. So, what in particular day, because we're trying to smooth things over, this stuff is happening fast, but it's happening. we're trying to turn over a new leaf with each other. He trying to, you know, take a whole nother approach with me in the co-parenting thing and this, and that. So this one in particular day, I was having a Sunday dinner that was planned out for me, him, and the baby. And he had a brother that had just got out of jail that day. And he had went over there going to go visit with his brother and shit like that. Story time, part 19. When I had a baby with Lucifer. So boom, his brother had just got out of jail the day before or something like that. I did hear about it. So he went to go basically kick it and spend time with his brother. But he ended up bringing his brother back to my house that day of our family day dinner that he wanted me to make so bad. His specialty meal he wanted me to make. He just wanted to be a day for, you know, me, him, and the baby, allegedly, so we could, you know, break communication barriers, just talk and all this other type of shit to try to make our situation better. Boom. I cooked the dinner. I'm waiting on him, all this, all that. So him and the brother come. So when the brother come, he excited to show the brother, you know, his newborn son. The baby only like about a month at this point. Maybe a month and a half. But his brother never seen him because he just got out of prison. So I'm noticing the brother acting all weird and shit. Barely even want to look at the baby. He didn't show no sign of giddiness or excitement or nothing. And Hamburger, you know, putting the baby all in his face like, don't he look just like me? This is that, this and that, this and that. Man, y'all, the blood test hadn't came back yet. Because I got to tell you about that too. The blood test hadn't came back yet, but he repping the baby hard as hell to everybody as if the blood test had already came back. Granted, the baby looked exactly like, the baby had my entire face, but had all his features, his eyes, real, jet black, mink hair, you know, he had real good hair. The baby had the same exact hair. My hair is nappy. And hot dog hair was nappy too. You know, they had the same fingers. They slept the same way. So he knew before it even came back. But anyway, he got this brother over here. And he had to leave and go do something. I don't know if they called him in to work or he had to go get something from the job. It was supposed to have been something he supposed to have been coming right back. So he wanted his brother to chill at the house until he got back. Or whatever. So at this point, I'm a little tired. So I'm going upstairs with the baby. I get on the phone with his cousin. And that was my homegirl. She used to wire me up on a whole bunch of shit too. I go on the phone with his cousin and let her know what's going on. Like, yeah, Hamburger brother here, the one that just got out of jail, blah, blah, blah. She like, get that motherfucker out your house now. He just got released from prison from shaking baby syndrome. He shook a baby to death, and that's what he did prison time for. I don't know if it was his girlfriend baby or his own biological child. Either way, however, whatever. Why the fuck, Hamburger, would you even bring somebody in my presence and I got a newborn baby here and you want him to be excited about meeting the baby? This motherfucker can flash out, you know what I'm saying, memory recall or whatever, and want to shake my motherfucking baby. You understand what I'm saying? This motherfucker had no heart. He had no feelings. He had no emotion. He had no conscience. That's the devil. Period, point blank. So somebody come to rob, kill, and destroy, that's the devil, okay? Period, point blank. But anyway, so I gets right on the horn with the grandma. Like, please, I need you to come and get, you know what I'm saying, your son, he's over here, he's making me feel extremely uncomfortable. I'm ready to go to bed. Hamburger is not answering the phone. He been gone for down there 2 hours. I'm not going to sleep with a motherfucker in my house and I don't even know him. I barely even know the daddy. Shit, he only had been in my life for like the last 7.5, 8 months, and you gonna bring your motherfucking ex-con ass brother over here who just getting released from shaking baby syndrome? Get him the fuck out of here now. So she came and she picked him up right away, and that was pretty much that on that or whatever. So then I'm gonna jump ship. The blood test came back maybe just a few days after that. Because I remember after that happened, I just didn't even want to talk to him or deal with him at all. I wasn't answering the phone for him or nothing. And he called me all excitement and shit, got the results. The test came back, so he know for a fact that it's his son. I'm thinking maybe something else could possibly change for the better. I don't know, but it just wouldn't anyway. And I wasn't trying to, like, consider being with him or nothing like that. When I said change for the better, like, not me trying to be with him or be no family, that was completely out my head. Meaning far as just like the respect and etc. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, just the respect. Perhaps even you can start for real purchasing things for your son, which you know for a fact they his, and take that load off your mama. Shit, his mama had money, it wasn't shit to her, but still, she didn't lay up and had his baby. You did. So boom, he still got the key to my crib. Well, it's to the point. I'm in that bitch in a heart of some like sleep. He's in the house. Mind you, this house I lived in at the time, it was about almost 1,800 square feet. Huge colonial style house. And if you in the Detroit area, you know the houses, Grandmont, Rosedale, they big. So I was in one of them. 3 doors to enter. So a lot of times I'm upstairs. I can't hear if nobody come in the house. Don't even know if nobody in the house. Like, for real, the house was just like that big. Once all my doors was locked and I felt like I was safe, that was pretty much it. Because it was a I am so grateful for y'all sticking with me. I'm getting more and more comments, more engagement, more interaction. So that's letting me know, like, my stories are actually captivating y'all. And y'all like it. And that's one thing I know for sure. People gravitate to real. If I was on this bitch just lying and making shit up as I go, I wouldn't be getting no views and likes and shit like that. Like, I'm talking about this past month alone, I have got over 70,000 views on my reels. And that's all them fucking story times that I did from like late February coming into March. Because the way Facebook got it set up, I think it was from like February 19th to March 13th, the timeline bracket that they gave me to show me. So I appreciate that. And like I told you, I am one who done been through a lot of shit and I done came through much. So I got plenty of story times for y'all. I just like, if I wasn't getting the reactions and, you know what I'm saying, the engagement and shit the way I wanted to, I was just going to cut them. But y'all definitely engaged. Y'all definitely feeling my stories. And that's what's up. Because this shit be like mini reality shows. Like, for real. All of y'all on the edge of y'all seat. Can't wait till I drop the next one. So I'm going to drop one right now. And then I'm probably not going to do I'm not going to finish this story up until tomorrow. Because I'm off tomorrow. And I need to just completely seal this deal up. I'm done with motherfucking Hamburger. Done talking about him. I am going to have to touch on the loss of my son. How God saved me, spared me, and pulled me up out of that to get me away from him. My son had to be sacrificed for that reason alone. I'm going to touch bases on that. And I'm going to go into detail and into depth. You know, how he even tried to destroy me and tear me down by exploiting me to everybody. Like I, caused harm to my own son. Oh, I'm going to get into it. So here we go. So I left off on how, he was out the house. Shit was still very much fucked up with me and him. Very much so. But for whatever reason, I guess he liked it, the sense of power / control that he had over me. I mean, I wasn't playing to him that I was in love with him. I wasn't still trying to be with him or nothing. But he knew I was a first-time mom. He knew how much I fucking loved that baby. And he knew how much I fucking loved him. So with the combination of those things, he just had his way with me, okay? So then that started getting like real eerie and creepy. For me, you know what I mean? It was a lot of days where it would just be me and Dallas. Sometimes he'd call, sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes he'd come over, sometimes he wouldn't. But he went from announcing him coming over to not saying anything. Storytime part 22. How I had a baby with Lucifer. I did not mean to do y'all like that last run. Like trying to, tease you with a good time. And it was so short-lived. Lord knows I didn't mean it. I just didn't know what the timer was like, talking and saying my little introduction shit that I was saying prior to us getting to the video. So, boom. Yeah, so it had got so weird to where he stopped announcing him coming over. Like, he had just come. Like, just show up. A lot of times, me and the baby knocked out, okay? I used to have this bedroom set to where all the lights in the house could be out. But I would leave the top lights on in the bedroom set to where to put like a glare in the room where I could see what was going on, but it'd still be dark to where I could rest my eyes. And it had got to the point, several occasions, I just roll over or just happen to get up to try to go to the bathroom, whatever, and this motherfucker is standing right over my bed, dead on, head on, not saying a fucking word, creeping me the fuck out. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta call you, say I'm coming over. That's what I got a key for. This is that. But who wouldn't say they on their way? If you coming to see your son because you don't want me, why is you coming over here wee hours of the night? I don't even know you coming. Then I wake up and I just happen to see you just standing over my motherfucking bed while I'm in the bed, okay? Or standing over the baby pack and play or whatever. Yeah, like legit to just be standing over me or standing over my bed. Imagine he didn't live there no more. So it'd be different if he was coming in the house to come lay down and he just want to check on us before he lay down. He was out the house, was not even living there. I told you he had refused to give me my key back. So he just had a key and came in on creep shit whenever he felt like it. Now, case in point, I don't want to say too much without saying too much. And I don't want to say anything that's trying to give off an indication that I'm meaning something else. I need you to pay attention to this story and how I'm conveying to you that this man will be in my house unannounced in the dark. I can't hear him coming in the house. Like I told you, this is a big, huge 1,800 square foot home. I had 3 private door entries. I had a door for the back of the house, a door for the side of the house, or the front. But I'm all the way upstairs. It took 22 stairs to get upstairs into the actual upstairs of the house. So if I couldn't hear nothing, especially if I'm knocked out sleep and you ain't called me and said you coming or nothing. But pay attention to this because it's going to make a lot of sense to you as I go further into the story on why my suspicions are the way they are. Story time part 23, when I had a baby with Lucifer. Just recapping the last video, I was telling you guys how, he had got to the point where he was like coming up my house unannounced. I wouldn't even know he was in the house. I get up or just happen to turn over, whatever, and he right there standing over my bed or standing over the pack and play, period. Very, 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 very creepy and just super eerie, to say the least. Now, I wasn't like scared of him or nothing like that because, I just wasn't. Even though he had choked me and stuff before, that was like the only time he had did that. And I didn't really know where that behavior came from, but I just really didn't feel like it was going to happen again. Whatever. I just wasn't worried about that. Plus, we wouldn't be beefing or nothing. He'd just pop up. Wouldn't tell me he was coming in and be standing over my bed in the motherfucking dark. Just weird as hell. Weird. So at this point, I had probably about 5 nervous breakdowns, maybe 6. I don't know. Like, I was just praying to God for peace, to restore my peace every day with a newborn baby. Can you imagine what that's like? You got this newborn, you doing 35 years of your life living however you want to live. You got this beautiful bundle of joy, but you happy to have. You grateful. But at the same time, the amount of stress that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis is like mere overkill. Is an understatement. It was just horrible, 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 horrible. So, moving forward, I think that was like the last known event that took place. And then, it had got to the point where I just like completely checked out on him and he knew it. He knew it completely. Like, all my feelings had just went none and void. When I would see him, it would just be like, he wasn't even my baby daddy. He was just like regular. And he knew it too, but he was still doing his thing, so it didn't even matter. Whatever. So, moving from that, the next known big event that took place was the death of my baby. I had lost my baby. My baby was born April the 19th. And I woke up to my baby not breathing June 13th of 2015. The most horrific, catastrophic day of my life. And what's so sad about this, like I lost my baby and everything in the mix in the mix of me losing my baby. It was freeing me and myself, my mind, body, and soul completely of him. And I don't know what that's about, how that show up or whatever, but is it in story time part 24. So yeah, I lost a baby on June 13th. What a demonic day that is. If anybody know anything about spirituality and numbers, 613 is when my baby expired. Okay? And I gotta talk about this. You know, it's been almost 10 years. Everybody, my closest people know me. But it was so many allegations and speculations that was on social media regarding this incident that I didn't even touch on, and they all came from him. All came from him. And I remember this like it was yesterday, y'all. The day before, my baby had went to the doctor, and the doctor was bravoing me and bravoing and bravoing. My baby had gained like right at a little bit over 3 pounds since he had been home with me. I was tip top on them feedings because he came home at exactly 5 pounds. And the day before he passed, he was almost like right at 9. He was like 8 and something, gaining, strong grip, strong everything. And everybody that knew me knew how much I loved my baby. It wasn't a day to go past I didn't post videos, every moment, every milestone, everything. And everybody that was on Facebook ate it up. They loved it. Like I told you before, I was very, 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 very popular. And everybody always loved me. And this is what he despised. He hate how much love I used to get. He hate how everybody showed me so much with gifts. He hated it. He always wanted to make himself present on my page. He always wanted to make himself known. He always wanted to let the world know he was the daddy. You feel me? He was looking for some type of camaraderie or validity off the gate. I hated even being Facebook friends with him. But I had to tell you that. But anyway, yeah, it was the morning of June 13th. And I remember it yesterday, regular night. Me and Dolly, we at home by ourselves. I had just went and picked him up from my baby daddy mama house, the grandma, because she had kept him all day just to give me a break and stuff. He was over there, of course, dogging me, treat me like shit, and I ain't even say nothing to him, but he want to be all, on the phone with his bitch and all this other kind of shit while I'm over there when you could have did all this stuff before I got here. Just extra shit to really just for real, just keep my mental in pure disturbia. Whatever. So we go home. It's probably about 11 o'clock at night. Me and the baby. Regular night, go home. I remember him being like a little cranky or whatever. He didn't go to sleep at his normal. Story time 25. When I had a baby by Lucifer. So yeah, the baby was a little bit cranky that night, but I guess maybe because he had been out of his element and he was with his grandma all day. I'm not really sure. Anyway, we got home about 11 o'clock. Gave him a feeding, maybe about 12-ish, 12:30. Try to put him to sleep. Now, the baby at this point was sleeping in the bed with me. He probably did about a week in that pack and play, but it was just so many sleepless nights. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He didn't want nothing to do with it. So my friend had got me this cuddle me pillow or whatever. I don't know if you know about that. The C-shaped pillow you prop the baby up on or whatever, give him comfort or whatever when they just chilling and laying or whatever. But it was the most comforting thing for Dallas because even with his like naps sometimes or just whatever, he was accustomed to sleeping on this pillow, and I couldn't get sleep out of him for real if he wasn't on this pillow. So we in my bed, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a queen size bed, a queen, okay? It's just me. I always been a stationary sleeper. I don't sleep all over the place. I don't sleep wild, nothing. Where I go to bed at is where I'm going to wake up at. That's just how it is. That's the way it always been. He slept in, the daddy, Hamburger, slept in the bed with me for months. He also was aware of this. And no, I don't sleep wild. He did. Okay, so me and Dally, we in the bed. I'm on one side of the bed, over on my side, and Dallas on the whole other side of the bed, at the top head part of the bed, on his cuddle me pillow, sleeping like how he always did. He wake up again, I think, for another feeding at maybe like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. It was like a couple of hours after I had put him down. Again, I sleep with that little light on, so it wasn't nothing. I already got everything already ready. Boom, give it to him, whatever. He go back to sleep. So I want to say like 6 o'clock that morning. I don't know verbatim by time. I'm only can go off of how I looked it outside. And I remember like my eyes like burning real bad from just being like tired. But it looked like it was like the crack of dawn, like it was about to start getting light outside or whatever the case may be. I gave my baby another feeding. He was hungry again. So about 10 o'clock that morning, Lucifer called, ranting and raving. As soon as I pick up the phone, going in on me or whatever the case may be. So he's like, what my son doing? What my baby doing or whatever. And I'm in the bed, but I'm in a seat. Story time 26. When I had lost my baby that I had by Lucifer. So as I was explaining to you, imagine a queen size bed. Okay? At that point in my life, I was smaller than I am now. Like now I'm like 241. I think I was like 215-ish, 220, or even maybe less. I'm not sure. Like I was telling you, I was always a stationary sleeper. I never slept wild, okay? So I'm in my bed when the daddy say, what is my son doing? Queen size bed, and I'm sleeping in a C. Like my back is to Dallas and my feet is hanging off the bed. So when the daddy say, what my son doing? I turn around and look, and my baby is not on the cuddle me pillow. So I'm like, I jump up, and my baby is behind my calves, laying face down in the pillow, not breathing. Not breathing. He's still extremely warm. Like I'm talking about extremely warm. Like this just transpired. Like this just took place. But as I go to pick him up, he just felt like lifeless. Like you would think when somebody passed or expired that they heavy. No, he felt like a silly putty doll. He just was very light. So, I'm in this panicky state. And I'm like, Cortez, the baby ain't breathing. He ain't breathing. So he like, call the ambulance. You know what I'm saying? Just call the ambulance. So, of course, I hang up with him. I call the ambulance and, they instructed me to perform CPR and get him to a hard surface and all this and all that. I got my dresser right there. That's a hard surface. I picked the baby up and run all the way downstairs, going to the dining room table as a hard surface. Just mine just wasn't even there. Like, just wasn't there. Anyway, the ambulance, they come in like, less than 5 minutes, because I only stayed about 10 minutes away from Sinai Grace. And they trying to resuscitate him while we in the ambulance. And I knew my baby was gone. I knew it. And I just remember just being in like this sure state of shock, like just pure state of shock. Like, story time 27. When I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. So we in the ambulance and, they trying to resuscitate and, I just know the whole ride there, like, it's over with. My pride, my joy, my love, like, he gone, like, my baby is gone, he gone. So I'm at the hospital and, of course, they interviewing me because, any type of death or anything that take place at a house is considered a homicide until further notice. So the police and stuff come right in, ask me about what took place. I gave them word for word the truth on what took place, what happened as I know it. They immediately confiscated my keys to my house, went to my crib to check out the scene. I don't know if they was looking for drugs, alcohol, really whatever they was looking for. I had no problem with giving it to them because Lord knows I hadn't caused no kind of bodily harm to my firstborn and my only child. I love that baby more than life itself, and everybody knew it. You understand me? I was so happy to be a mama. I was so proud to be a mama. My son was fine as wine, like fine. All the hopes, dreams, aspirations, and just visions and everything I had for him, just for him to grow up, the plans, everything. Like, I was the best mama. The best. So he was at work, okay? His mama and his stepfather and them got to the hospital before he did. My sisters and them, of course, they surely came just like quick. And everybody just want to know what happened. I'm telling my sister and them what happened. Then the mama and them want to know what happened. Everybody just constantly asking me what happened. And I was able to tell them, same story, different times, nothing changed. I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't got to lie about nothing. So next thing you know, probably like an hour in of being at the hospital, and he shows up, but he ain't just show up like to give me comfort or want to know what happened or just even have a conversation with me. He did not. He showed up with his girlfriend coming down the hallway like, where that bitch at? Bitch, you killed them, bitch. You killed my baby. You can hear him down the entire corridor before he even got to me. So his mama, she jump up and the stepfather jump up and they trying to go out there and comfort and console him. But he came through the door on some showdown shit to make me look bad with his motherfucking girl. Story time 28, when I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. Alright, so again, I'm going to recap. We come in the hospital. He got his girlfriend with him. I never physically seen him. I only could hear him. The last time me and him spoke was on the phone when I said, Tiz, the baby ain't breathing. Okay, so from at that point, he don't know what happened. He don't know what transpired. He don't know nothing other than the baby expired. Why, how, when, what, where, or who, he don't know. Unless his shift started that morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. He would have to leave out for work at 4, okay? Unless he came to my house before he went to work. Unless. You understand what I'm saying? I done already painted y'all a picture. I can't make this shit up, okay? But what I do know is don't nobody know what happened in that room but me and God. And I know for a fact, for a stone cold fucking fact, I did not roll over on top of my baby. There's no way humanly possible I could do that. No way. Not sleeping stationary, not knowing I got this precious gift on the side of me, not having him all the way at the top of the bed, on the whole other side of the bed, when I'm all the way on the other, and I sleep in the same spot. It's no fucking way. No way. I don't care. People like, what if? No, it ain't no what if. I could never had did that. Never. Even on my tiredest night, I could never did it. Ever. However, he in the hospital, oh, bitch, I know you killed them. I know you. I can hear him in the hallway going crazy. He's screaming to the top of his lungs, hollering. Now, at this point, my family then showed up so deep, like so deep. Imagine we had his family outnumbered because with nobody there but like his mama, his stepfather, him, his girlfriend, and maybe like a homeboy or two, but my family was through that bitch thick. My uncles, my cousins, everybody. We was in the hospital probably like about 40 deep, maybe 50. Everybody showed up for me. Everybody. And you got this motherfucker here. He on the nut, calling me all kind of bitches, all this, all that. It took everything in me to keep my male cousins from getting in that ass. They wanted to fuck him up on site, on spot, because everybody get a grieving parent. I'm the mama. Motherfucker, I carried his ass. Story time 29 on when I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. So recapping, we in the hospital. He constantly screaming, hollering, and howling like a wounded animal, in the hallway. It was just like so fucking extra. Like, seriously. And don't get me wrong. Everybody has their own grieving process. Everybody grieve in their own way. But Stevie Wonder would have been able to see that this was so extra and so thick, and almost as if it was like for the cameras that was watching. I cannot even explain this shit to you. Here it is. My whole heart just left my body. Because my firstborn child that I had been waiting on since the age of 13 when I started fucking. And I knew you can get pregnant from fucking. I didn't never want a baby till about 30. But that's still 5 whole long years that I waited until God blessed my womb. And I'm not even carrying it out like that. And here it is. I just lost my baby. Okay? He went out his way to get this type of special attention. Extra special attention. However, whatever, security ended up breaking us apart. Everybody departing, leaving the hospital, going their way. They go their way, whatever. I still never talked to him the rest of that day. You wouldn't want to call your baby mama not one time. Y'all just lost your son today. You ain't going to try to call her, reach out to her, regardless of how you just tried to embarrass her and clown her at the hospital. You're not going to call her and get the story from her as she know it. You just going with your flow. And then you run to Facebook. Because at the time, I got all the 5,000 friends. I'm at the max cap. Like, I can't even accept no more friends. His page ain't really doing nothing all like that. But also, because he made his presence so known during my pregnancy, all the love, all the bitches, they flocked into the nigga page, want to befriend him and be his friend. And you already know. I mean, the nigga was a looker. He did look good. He did have, that appeal. So even females that I came to learn that I thought was like day one-ish for me, cool with me, they always trying to fuck on. All in his inbox. He showing me shit in his inbox, all type of shit or whatever. So a lot of my friends had, my Facebook friends, just Facebook friends, not my real friends, had gravitated to his page. So he want to put on a show. He run the Facebook like, oh, it's very unfortunate that I have to, let everybody know my baby mama rolled over on top of my baby. Story time part 30, when I end up losing the baby that I had by Lucifer. So yeah, he never calls me. Sorry, I'm eating crab legs, y'all. I'm crazy as hell looking in his face. He never called me that day, ever. The last time I talked to him was the morning when I told him the baby wasn't breathing. He never called me to cuss me out, called me bitch this, bitch that, nothing. I never, ever had a conversation with him again that day. And I wasn't going to call him, bitch, you need to be calling me, okay? So long story short, he runs to Facebook, like on some, I regret to inform y'all, I lost my son. My son is dead. My baby mama rolled over on top of my son and killed him. She was... What'd she say? Oh, he put on there, I had company and was drinking Remy and smoking cigarettes the night. And I rolled over on top of my baby. And I'm talking about people just flocking. Even though I announced that my baby was gone on Facebook, or either somebody in my family didn't. No, I was out of it. I didn't even get on Facebook that day. People in my family asked, pray for Dana. She lost her only son, so people knew. But everybody flocking to his page, because man, we friends. So people that's friends with me and him, they can see it. So everybody running over there. And and they gravitating to this fake ass shit. Ain't nothing about it real. They don't even care to hear the story. All they know is they running with the fact that he said
Dana rolled over on top of the baby, drinking Remy and smoking cigarettes. Now, I'm here to tell you something. I told you, the motherfucking detectives grabbed my key, confiscated my keys, and went to my house while I was still at the hospital to go check out the scene. I hadn't had a drink since I had learned I had became pregnant. Even after I had the baby, I was so scared of making a mistake or just him being so fragile and just so tender. And I never ever touched alcohol since I even had the baby. And he could attest to that because the motherfucker was in the house with me. And he was all Don Julio at the time. And he used to be getting fucked up off Don Julio. I never purchased a bottle of Douce or Remy or nothing. Even when my baby spent 2 weeks in the hospital in NICU. Drinking was the furthest thing from my motherfucking mind. But this is what he made up to clear his own conscience, his own mind of the guilt that he dealt with behind what the fuck he did. Now, I'm going to say this, and I ain't going to say he did anything. I stated the facts. Motherfucker put $100K lawsuit on my baby. I mean, $100K insurance policy on my baby. Brought your brother over to my house the day he got out of prison, that spent time in prison for shaking baby syndrome, and left him over there with me unattended for at least story time part 31 when I lost my baby that I had by Lucifer. So yeah, I'm just giving y'all a recap. He had got $100,000 insurance policy on a newborn baby, and he wouldn't stop until he got it done, okay? $100,000 insurance policy. 2, brought your brother, who was fresh out of the penitentiary for spending time in the penitentiary for shaking baby syndrome, shaking a baby to motherfucking death. You just so happen to have to leave my house and leave this sick motherfucker at the house with me while I got a motherfucking newborn. Number 3, coming over my house unannounced inside the house, and I ain't got no idea he in the motherfucking house, so I just happen to wake up or have to use the bathroom or anything. I mean, come on, let's be clear now. Then, the instant we lose the baby, you come to the hospital and I'm the villain. Oh, that bitch, I know you killed them, bitch. I know she killed them. That bitch killed my baby. Off the back. This is how this motherfucker was coming to see about our expired son at the hospital the morning of, okay? Then he runs straight to Facebook, putting all the blame on me. I rolled over on the baby. I'm drinking Remy, smoking cigarettes. And I'm talking about, this wasn't just one post. He kept posting it, kept posting it, kept posting it, kept posting it, kept posting. This went on for days, even weeks. I guess him loving, getting all the empathy and sympathy from all the bitches and just all this. I'm talking about the way he displayed his grief is like something you couldn't even fathom. You would have had to be in that era and been his Facebook friend to be able to see this shit. We're talking about a motherfucker who wasn't even active in his life, okay? Never bought my baby a motherfucking pacifier. And the instant, the week of my baby passing away, I was just about to start child support and all this up. And he told me, like, yeah, you start child support, you think you ain't getting shit. Nah, you really ain't gonna get shit. I promise to God, whatever that little support they gonna take, that's all you gonna get. I said, well, so be it. Because if you think you about to sit up here and be making all you making, and I'm taking care of the baby by myself, and you laid up and had him, now you had the blood test, and now you don't want to do nothing. He was so fucking hot about the child support. It was a topic of discussion every time I spoke with him. Every single time. And, you know, just so happened that same week, my son passed away. I don't know what happened in that room that night, but I got my own conspiracy theory of what I truly, truly think. I know it wasn't no rolling over on top of him. Story time 32. Yeah, so I just gave y'all a full scope for you to connect your own motherfucking dots. Okay? But that's what it is, and that's that on that. So, you know, we had a funeral and everything like that. Well, it's coming, and the week of the funeral and all that, that's when he want to start reaching out to me and all this and all that. So, I spoke with his cousin, the one who I told you that told me about the baby, about the uncle
just getting out of prison for the shaking baby syndrome. She had wired me up and shit like, I'm gonna need you to get out that house, D. She was like, he already came on. He told us all he gonna kill you. He gonna kill you. So she was like, I just don't feel like it's safe for you to be in that house. He got a key to come in there on you whenever he want to. Get out the house, cuz. She was like, because, you know, she just had started telling me like a whole bunch of stuff about their family history at this time that was extremely alarming for me. Like, number one, how this motherfucker spent 3 years in juvenile for basically making a homemade bomb that he put up under his mama car, because he called himself was gonna kill his mama. At 14 years old, he made a bomb, put it under his mother's car to kill her. Okay, so in that mind, in your mind at that time, at 14-year-old, what would a 14-year-old boy think to be trying to take out the person that gave him life? He been sick from the time he came out the womb. This motherfucker birthday is on Halloween, 10/31. He was destined for wickedness and pure evil. Just all kinds of fucked up, okay? Fucked. There was so much I learned after my baby passed that I wish I would have had known while my baby was even alive, or even before I even got pregnant by this motherfucker, just so I can know how to tread carefully in a different type of way. So long story short, I did end up going over my sister's house. It was just too much for me to be in that house. Losing my baby in that house and everything like that, it was just too painful. So I believe that same day I packed up and I went out to my sister's house and I stayed with her for like a whole week. But you better trust and believe, I came back like 3 days later to change the locks on the house. You know, my cousin and everybody was like, you know, just get the locks changed. Like, we changed the locks on the house. Neighbor, who don't even talk to me, didn't talk to me at the time, come running down as we coming over. Hey, I'm sorry to hear about what happened. I heard you lost your baby, blah, 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 whatever. And he say, oh, you want to know, you know your baby daddy, he been over here while you ain't been here. And I said, what? They said, yeah, one night I watched him. This man, he stayed not next door to me, but the house next door to the house next door. Story time 33 on when I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. So yeah, the neighbor, he didn't talk to me at the time, but he was like neighborhood watch. Like, he stayed out on his porch a lot. He stayed on his back porch a lot. This I know from just observation of me living there the past years and change. That me seeing him, he just wouldn't miss a beat on shit. So I was gone for like 3 days, and I just came back to change my locks and stuff. And he coming to give me his condolences and letting me know how sorry he is for losing the baby and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I just want to let you know, sister, you know, to bring to your attention, because he was just like, well, you know, the baby daddy, the one who tried the Durango, that burgundy truck. I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah, he been over here. He saying, I don't know what it was about, but he said one night I'm on my back porch. You know, my baby died in June 13th, so this was a heart of a summer night. He said he was on his back balcony porch, and he watched my baby daddy pull his truck. Now, them colonial style houses in the Grandmont Rosedale area got real long driveways. Like, you could put like maybe 6 cars in one of their driveways back to back and still got a little room. Well, maybe 4 or 5, not under 4 or 5 for sure. He said he watched him. My vehicle is not there. You know I'm not there. The house is pitch black because I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? But he said he don't know what he was on. But he said he pulled in the driveway. He turned off all the lights in his vehicle, and he pulled all the way back to the garage. And he just sat there with the engine running, okay? Now, I'm going to say this. I was not there to know what could have took place or what was going to take place. But I believe if I was there, whatever intention he had that night by pulling up like that and really wasn't even communicating or talking to me, it wasn't good. When this cousin told me to get out the house that he was going to kill me, I believed her. And I believed her with all my might, and I made my move that day. Okay? So, the moral of the story is, God had to show me something, you know. And what I got out of this, the entire catastrophe that took place. God wanted to show me, you need to know, I bless your womb for you to have a baby and for you to experience what motherhood is. But this, him, and all that come with that ain't your portion in this life. You know now your womb is blessed. It's blessed. And you can have children. Story time 34. When I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. So yeah, as I recapping, I was just telling you about, I didn't get that revelation right away, because to be honest with you, I was completely mad at God. I was like, I don't know, I shunned him. Like, I just didn't want nothing to do with God. I couldn't understand how I prayed so many years. I'm talking about with guys that I was truly in love with, begging God to have a baby, begging him. And it would never, ever happen. And then I get with this motherfucker that I don't even know from a can of paint. And within 3 weeks' time, I got pregnant by him. And for him to take me through Nightmare on Elm Street from, I ain't gonna say the beginning, but from the time I found out I was pregnant at 3 months, all the way into my son's death, and even after my son's death. It just, I don't know, mind blowing. Anyway, however, I ended up moving away to Texas just to escape him, just to escape everybody. Like, I just felt like, to me, like, once the funeral and everything had came and left, like, people who I thought was going to be there, they just wasn't. The support just was not there like that to me. So I wanted to get away from any and everything that had to do with Detroit. My mama was living in Texas. I moved to Texas to just try to start over, get a new lease on life, and woosah. I needed to heal, and I needed to heal bad, y'all. I truly didn't think it was no coming back for me behind that. There, all the emotional turmoil, all the distress, the pain, the unbearable pain. I wanted to go where did nobody know my name. I wanted to go where did nobody know me. I didn't want to be Diva D. I didn't want to be Dana. I didn't want none of that. Took a break from Facebook. Took a break from everything. And it was to learn me all over again, and just to process and digress what I actually had went through. But of course, this motherfucker still at it. He constantly calling me on my back about trying to get this death certificate. It ain't clicking to me at that time, though, that you gotta have a death certificate in order to, you know what I'm saying, be able to achieve any insurance policy money. You ain't got that death certificate, you ain't getting nothing. So I'm telling him, no. Story time 35. Life in Texas for me, trying to heal, process, digress, completely just trying to do a master reset. I was so lost. I was so depressed. I mean, my depression lasted for about almost right at 2 years. Just go to work, come home, be in my room, laying in the dark all the time. It was so miserable for my mama to watch. Oh, it was breaking her heart so bad. It was breaking her down. It was actually breaking me down. But like I told you, I had completely shunned away from God. I didn't want nothing to do with him. So the devil was having his way with my mind being so idle, and it was just a playground for the devil. Just so many thoughts, horrible thoughts. It was just awful. It's the quality of life that I lived. I never known that life. I always had a happy, blessed, good life all the time. Like, and in Texas, it was anything shot at. It was nothing. It was horrible. But when I'm in Texas, he's still harassing. Now, at this point, he got somebody pregnant. The girl who came to the hospital, she already got a baby on the way. And they posting it all on Facebook and all this and all that or whatever. So that was another thing to send me right over the top. Like, this girl was pregnant. When I had, my son died, she was already pregnant because she ended up, I forgot when she had him, but it wasn't that, it was right during the course of the time my son died. That's when they started posting her being pregnant and all this other kind of shit. So I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with him steady on my back, riding me about this death certificate. And I'm like, no, no, no. You know what I'm saying? And this motherfucker, his name wasn't even on the birth certificate, because when I signed off on the birth certificate or whatever, I don't know if he wasn't pregnant at the hospital. I don't know. However, him learning where I had the funeral at, and I let him come to the funeral. I shouldn't even have let him come to the funeral. That was a huge mistake too, but I don't even want to recap on that. But he ended up, being able to somehow achieve the birth certificate without his name even being on the motherfucking birth certificate. But he did have a mama in a real high place. His mama was the head secretary for Kim Worthy. So city, government, one phone call, they can get whatever they want. Because I still can understand to this day, how could they hand over a birth certificate to somebody whose name wasn't even on, a death certificate to somebody whose name wasn't even on that motherfucker. But he got it. However, I still didn't even think about the money. It wasn't until the baby mama, the girl who was at the hospital, ended up reaching out to me. Like, I don't know, maybe after she had the baby and now she coming to see she got a baby by Lucifer. She want to reach out to me and ask me this and ask me that. And she, story time 36, when I lost the baby that I had by Lucifer. So yeah, now I'm in Texas. Now there's one chick who's at the hospital, skinning and grinning while he calling me all kind of bitches and disrespecting me and shit. Now she didn't have her baby. Now she's coming to learn that Lucifer is really Lucifer. Because guess what? She called me, want to get tea, want to get info. I did get a lot of tea from her, even though I wasn't even concerned with him at that point, because it had been over a year. This man was the furthest. I literally grew to hate him. And I hate no one. I know how it's such a sin to hate. I literally hated this man with every fiber in my being. I hated him, okay? But she just sounded so pitiful, and she just wanted some kind of insight as to who and what she was dealing with, because she had no clue either. She had just met him. He had just been at that job only like about a month or so, and she was already pregnant at the hospital by the time they come up there the day that the baby had died. So she getting to know him, going through her pregnancy the same way that I did. Bless her heart. So yeah, she called me and just telling me, we literally about to cause her to go into a psych ward. She seeking out counseling, all kind of shit. So she ended up telling me about the baby. Telling me about the insurance money. How he had cashed in on the insurance money and didn't give her nothing. Didn't do nothing for their son. Same shit he was doing for me, and just all this. So I said, oh my God, this motherfucker done really cashed in for real. Meal ticket off my baby. Didn't even give me a dime, which I didn't even want a dime. But as me being the mother of our child, no matter how bad you put me out here that I rolled over on top of the baby and all this other type of dumbass shit you could have came up with, you little fucking Satan's imp, you ain't gonna have a man to at least get a mama something. No, the devil don't work like that. Anyway, so I was able to share with her whatever I was able to share with her and give her the insight the best I could. But long story short, he ended up leaving her. I don't know if it was before the baby got here or as soon as the baby got here. He ended up getting another chick pregnant with twins. Oh, shoot me dead. Shoot me dead. Because at this point, I'm still mad at God. So I'm speaking my mind to God, like, this evil motherfucker. You just gonna keep letting him impregnate people. Now he done had this one son with her out of wedlock. Don't want nothing to do with this girl, and now he got twins on the way. How could you continuously keep blessing him and letting, oh my God, I was just going through a thing. A major thing. Story time 37. Oh my God, I never knew I could do a story time with 37 parts to it. But that's just how real and thick this shit got. And y'all know I do not leave out any ounce of detail. Good, bad, or indifferent, embarrassing, sad, whatever. y'all gonna know if I'm telling a motherfucking story time. I ain't about to sugarcoat nothing. It ain't in me to do it. So you can listen and not judge, or listen and judge. However, whatever, it don't matter to me. It's my story out. As long as my story can help one individual. It ain't gotta be 10. It ain't gotta be 20. My story can help one person see the light through their situation and give them revelation as to what they're going through and how they need to move. I thank God, because I'm doing this for God's glory. God impacted my heart to tell these stories. I didn't just come up with this on my own. I did not come up with this on my own. These stories will be used for God's glory in one way or another. You better believe it. You better believe it. So anyway, he ended up getting a girl pregnant with twins. He got twins on the way, okay? Meanwhile, I'm still depressed in Texas. I'm still messed up. I ain't messed with no guy since I've been there. Ain't got no love life. Ain't thinking about no love life. Nothing. Y'all remember Hot Dog? My dog, my baby. I had turned my back on him tremendously. I mean, when the baby died, he came around and was moral support and everything. Anything I needed, coming over there, spending time with me and everything like that. But he knew I was moving to Texas and he wanted to come with me. And I ended up leaving him behind. Like, no, I got to do this on my own, G. You can't go with me, Greg. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to heal. I'm on something completely different. You know what I mean? So I ended up leaving him and didn't tell him. And he was so hurt and so devastated and so mad. Even though he had got him a girlfriend, and he just still was so in love with me. He was willing to just stop, drop, and roll and leave her to come down to Texas with me and everything. He just wanted to be there for me. However, I ended up leaving and I didn't tell him or nothing. I just bust up. So he was devastated. So about 6 or 7 months of me being down there, he came down there to see me, spent the weekend with me, had a good time, familiar place, familiar face. So it felt great because I didn't get to know nobody really down there like that. I wasn't on that. So, yeah, and then he ended up moving to Florida with the girl. And I had no communication with him at all. Like, it'd be communication, but he just wouldn't stop lying about his status with her or this, that. Or even when they get into it, he'd call me, you know, just stupid shit. Story time 38 on when I had a baby by Lucifer. When I lost the baby I had with Lucifer. And how God restored me and gave me double for my troubles. Denver and Dakota is here. They 7, about to be 8 years old. However, let me get back to the hot dog thing. So yeah, I had kind of like just was, you know, falling shy hot dogs. It was like, man, you all caught up. You still love me, yes, granted, but you loving somebody else now. So just let that relationship flourish. You know, you all the way in Florida, Orlando. I'm all the way in Arlington, Texas. Well, no, I was in Fort Worth at the time. I ended up moving to Arlington later. But, you know, that was just like that. So he'll call me when they going through something or whatever. Or, you know, just, I just wasn't really even paying him no kind of attention like that. So anyway, he had ended up getting into some trouble down in Florida, and he was trying to run away from it or whatever. So at this time, I'm fully assimilated at this point. I moved out of my mom's house. I kind of got my own place, and I'm working good-ass jobs, making good money down there and everything. Life is actually starting to really look up for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting not full-throttedly happy, but I'm going in that direction. So he want to come down here and he want to do the whole roommate thing and all this all over again. And I'm just like, whatever. But that's my baby. And I can never forget how much he was there for me when I needed him the most. And he needed me. He needed somewhere to run to. And I let him come run right in my arms. How about the first night he got to Texas? The very first night. No planning. No nothing. I get pregnant with hot dog baby. Not one baby, but 2 babies. Mind you, I have been Sally Sullivan since I got to Texas. We had sex that one time. He came down there and see me. I was about there for like 7 or 8 months. He had came to see me, and we had stuff that weekend. But still, I wasn't planning that, letting him skeet in me, whatever. But when he had came to live to Texas, and that very first night, we had been doing a lot of talking, a lot of soul searching amongst each other and everything. And this wasn't no planning or nothing, but it was just one of them nights, and
he let it go and I caught it. So yeah, I got pregnant with twins. And this was actually 14 months to date from the time that I lost Dallas, my firstborn love. God turned around and blessed my womb with 2 babies and not 1. And it was a very healthy pregnancy, stress-free pregnancy. Hot Dog was there for me every step of the way. He started getting cuckoo and crazy about 7 months. I'm going to have to do a story time on him too. But this is the end of this. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. God showed me. Story time 39 on how I had a baby by Lucifer, lost a baby by Lucifer, and God restored my womb by blessing me with twins. I couldn't leave off the way I left off. Because, I mean, in any and every situation, I got to be able to give God the glory in everything. I mean, he is the head of my life. And he means so much to me. And I got to acknowledge him in all that I do. So, it was by God's will that I got pregnant with twins within 14 months. In my mind, the devil had me believe that it took you. I've been having sex since 13, didn't have your first baby until 35. So the devil had me thinking like it took you damn near 20 years to have 1 baby. You ain't never gonna have no more kids. That's it for you. You can hang it up. Motherhood is over with. This in my mind, this was embedded like this. But when I started coming out of my depression, I started leaning more towards the things of God. I started getting more of my praise and worship music, talking to him, acknowledging him, asking him to forgive me for just even, turning my back on him and putting him at fault to blame on me losing Dallas. When God's will is never to, destroy us, depress us, or hurt us. He take from our life and add from our life accordingly the way he see fit. And it's so far past any knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we can obtain because we're not God. We know God is not us. He don't think like us. He don't move like us. None of that. But I say all that to say this. The first week my son died, I remember it so clear, so vividly, because I was just like so emotionally torn. And I didn't have a whole lot of time to myself, but the times that I did have to myself, because I had a lot of support. I was at my sister's house and everything. God would tell me over and over again, I'm going to give you double for your troubles. I would hear it in my spirit, not in like an audible voice, but it would be in my spirit. And I wouldn't even be thinking about it. And it just keep coming in my spirit, I would keep hearing it. I mean, it was so soft. It was so soft. He said, I'm going to give you double for your troubles. I'm going to give you double for your troubles. I'm shallow-minded. I'm thinking in my mind in the aspect of a financial blessing. But no, he knew he was going to restore my womb and give me 2 babies for the loss of the first one I had, because he knew I had enough love in my heart to get both of them. And my boys mean everything to me, y'all. Y'all know that. I love them boys with all my might. And God. Story time 40. When I had a baby by Lucifer, when I lost a baby by Lucifer, and when God turned around and gave me twins, double for my troubles. So everything I had to endure, everything I had to go through, God restored it. So yeah, Hot Dog came down to Texas, and I got pregnant the very first night that he came down there. A Duce night. Oh. And it's so crazy because I found out so quick. Like, I knew within 2 weeks' time that I was pregnant. I was dealing with morning sickness so bad within 2 weeks of him impregnating me. My famous, what was that he used to be giving me? Lobster linguine. He used to work at Red Lobster, so he used to always be bringing home lobster. Like lobster with some type of noodles. I was eating it like every night. I couldn't eat that no more. I was throwing it up every time I tried to eat it. My pants,
in 2 weeks' time, my pants was feeling like I couldn't button them, but they was cutting my stomach and hurting me real bad. So I'm like, we gotta go get a pregnancy test. So he like, man, you ain't pregnant. Go ahead. You ain't pregnant. I'm like, Greg, I am. Something is not right. You know I don't be getting sick like this. We go take the test and say I'm pregnant. Boom. So down in Texas, they have far more advanced technology than they had up here in Michigan at the time. Like, you was able to learn the sex of your babies, what you was having, all that. It wasn't within like my first month. I knew. But we ended up finding out, we had ultrasound and found out that we was having twins, which we both was extremely ecstatic about it. Well, I wasn't at first. I was a little sad because I'm like, oh my God. I just was barely even, sinking my teeth in motherhood with Dallas. Didn't even get no experience on like that. Like, now I'm about to have two. What is we gonna do? But Greg, he made it just... Hot Dog made it all more so better with his support and him being happy about us having twins and not mad or sad or nothing. He was happy. And I just say all that to say this. It was not in my plan to have any type of baby back, Greg. You knew back then when I was pregnant and it was between hamburger and hot dog, I wanted it to be hamburger's baby so bad and not hot dogs. But God turned around and showed me something different. So it's not always about our plan and what we want. It's what God feel like he know is best. And I just want to say that I didn't got really emotional in this story time, but it was real. I've been transparent if I possibly can be with y'all because it was real. And I just hope that somebody somewhere was able to walk away with something from my story time. Thank y'all so much for watching. God bless. But what I do know is don't nobody know what happened in that room but me and God.